All right, we're live. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're back with another stream. How are you doing, y'all? Are you doing Soraka, Siphon? Lo, thank you so much, Lo, for the resub. Hey, Pyro, Vishanti. Hey, Blazes. Hey, Sophia. Hey, Outpost. Hey, everybody. Hi, if I missed anybody. Hello. How are y'all doing? Hope you're having a nice week so far. Or, I guess it's Friday already. Oh my god. Hope you've had a nice week. Yeah, we're back with some art, and we're doing what I was meaning to do on Wednesday, but ended up not doing. We're gonna make a map for my upcoming game, Dreadfarer. If you haven't heard about this, I'll be bringing it up throughout the stream, but I'm making a game that's gonna be a solo RPG, so you can just play it on your own. The only thing you need is some dice and a notebook. That the whole game is about filling this notebook with your diary, your sketches, whatever you want. And it's all about exploring this strange new land that just which is discovered in the middle of the ocean called Lemuria. And the whole, like, most of the game is just going to be like going to a new place, exploring it, finding an artifact, finding dangers. You either fail or succeed, and you go on to continue. So that's what it's going to be about. And today what we're making is a map for this game. So I have been looking for old maps, and you're going to see a lot. And we're going to be turning it into the game world for this project. 30 stream streak. Oh my god, Cryptid. That's wild. I found out what's wrong with Blasphemous. You're only supposed to wear the wax beads and nothing else. Thank you, Cass. I'll try to remember this for next time we play. I'm gonna drill this into my brain. Hit 30 streams next stream. Hell yeah. So much. That's like many months. I don't know how many. Okay. Let's see what I got so far. So here we are. Here's my Photoshop layer. And what I got here is an old 19th century map of the Canary Islands. I actually got several. Because what I want to do is base the shape of the islands that we're going to be like visiting throughout the game. It's going to be like, you know, several different islands. You're gonna travel between them. Yeah, I'm gonna base them on the Canary Islands because that's where I live, and I think that would be cool. And many of the zones are actually based on each island, not one to one. There's like a bit of a mix, but yes, there are specific zones that are based on specific places I've been to in these islands. So I figured it would be a nice fit to have them, the map literally be based on the Canary Islands. It's not going to be just this, but it is going to be, we're going to take some of these islands, reshape them, maybe mix them together, and that's how we're going to like create this space. Cancela. This week has been so long, has it? I'm sorry, Vishanti. Hopefully next week is better. Also, this is so bright, so it's making my face look like a ghost. I'm gonna remix those islands. Exactly, it's a remix. Also, like the actual area you're exploring is meant to be much bigger than these islands. So it's meant to be more like a continent than just a little archipelago, but it's still going to be like a series of islands, and some of them are going to be a little bit farther, some of them closer. We're going to see. That's I still haven't figured out like the shape of it. So, but let me tell you about these areas. These are going to be the main areas that we're going to see in the game. There's Syrah, which is the desert. Just gonna note these down. This is gonna be like mostly a desert-based area, so huge like fields of dunes and like traveling caravans going through them. There's like gold mining going on that island. There's like, you know, each of these islands, they have their own like geology and like people living in them. They have, you know, their own set of creatures that you can encounter. They have their own culture and like ruins. Each gonna have like a very different vibe. That's kind of what we're going for here. And if you explore them enough, and if you see enough of these places, you can kind of figure out like, you know, the totality of each of these zones. Each of these zones here in the game are going to have like 20 areas you can explore, because you're going to throw a d20 when you get to the area, and you're going to like follow one of them, right? So the whole earthquakes are just island mashups, exactly. Yeah, this map is in French for some reason. This island is called La Palma. I will show you pictures from there. I was there last year. It was beautiful, beautiful place. It looks like the Isla Nublar from the Jurassic Park books, does it? Look at this closer depiction of it. It's like a huge... This is literally the caldera. If you've ever heard the word caldera for a huge like volcanic crater, it literally comes from this one. There was I think it was like an English or a German geologist that was studying volcanoes, and he went to La Palma, to this island, and he took this place that, you know, locals called La Caldera de Taburiente, or just La Caldera, and he took it as the word. He was like describing this volcano, and it kind of just became the word for calderas in English. So that's the caldera, the one and only. And funny enough, this map is so old that the island is smaller. There is one more volcano here now, so this is like a little bigger. And just recently, you might have seen this in the news. I think it was like a couple of years ago now. There was a volcano that popped up here, and this is a very populated area, so a lot of people had to be evacuated. Thankfully, nobody died, I think. And yeah, there's also a little bit more land here. So these islands are literally growing. But yeah, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, each of these islands has its own vibe, and they're mostly going to be based on like one type of like geography. So each of them is kind of like, you know, a bit of a like Super Mario world, right? They each have like one thing, but for each of these islands, they're gonna have like, you know, a whole totality that you can kind of learn about and discover if you explore it enough. So you had a pretty exciting earthquake today. Oh, hope you're okay, Vishanti. Well, I assume you are, but hope it wasn't too bad. But yeah, okay, just to give you guys the general gist of what playing this game feels like. You're gonna throw, like, before you start each like expedition of this game, you're gonna choose, first of all, where you go. If you're in a zone, you can stay in that zone, and it's gonna be cheaper to travel. If you want to travel to a different one, it's going to be more expensive because you're going to take a ship. There are like cheaper and more expensive ways to travel depending on the danger where you want to expose yourself to. Like, you generally, the cheaper, the more danger you're gonna find on the way. But you choose a new place, then you throw your first d20. That's one of these dice with 20 faces. You choose like depending on the number you get, you'll get like a different place from this area, from this island, and then you throw another d20 that's going to tell you an artifact, and there's another table of artifacts for each of these zones. So you can get like repeats, like you can go to the same area twice, but just look for different artifacts there. So there is the possibility of like, retreading your steps in different places, and kind of, you, depending on the luck you get there, the luck of the dice, you will get, you will be able to thread your own story through that. But all this to say, all these areas, I'm going to use this here as the base. Each of these islands has a different vibe. Sarah here is a desert island. It's mostly based on Fuerteventura. Then there's Motag, which is the mountain area. The Sangul is the jungle area. Lazarak is, the name is literally based on Lanzarote, which is, again, in French, is Lanzarote. So it is the volcano area. More dangerous, higher risk, higher reward. And this is the ocean around it, which, depending on the stretch goals, might also be like an area you can explore, but only through using a submersible. So it's going to be like, more of a late game thing. If you got a little bit more money, you can go explore the depths of the ocean as well for a bit more eldritch underwater stuff. But yeah, that's more or less how it's going to shake out. There might be like another area, like depending on the stretch goals we got on the Kickstarter, like this will be the first stretch goal. There's going to be a further stretch goal of another area, but that's not going to be in the map. Hey, Uranium. So yeah, all this, very important. Go to the Kickstarter and follow it so you get notified when it starts, because next Monday the Kickstarter is launching, like this coming Monday. So yeah, follow that, and if you click on the button that I'm gonna share right here, go to the link in the chat and click on notify me on launch, and that'll give you guys a, like right here, notify me on launch, and that'll give you guys a notification when we start, so you can get it, so you can be one of the first to get it. Not Tuesday, Monday. So yeah, it's gonna be a fairly low goal, because it's just, it's just two people making this game. Like most of the money is gonna go towards just printing the zine, because it's gonna be like an A5 size zine, like this size, and so most of the money is gonna go to printing that. The goal is pretty low, so I'm pretty confident that with you guys' support, we'll reach it, and maybe even like get to some stretch goals and get more stuff in the game. $50,000. No. Bit lower than that, don't worry. Okay, so for the desert island, I wanted to use maybe this one, but I want to make it like shorter or like wider. I want to make it a little bit more circle or square shaped. Then for the mountain area, I wanted to mix these two together, or maybe this and this, not sure. For the jungle one, maybe again this and this, and the volcano one is Lanzarote, so it has to be this one. Did I bump my mic? Maybe. I keep moving my arms around, so I might bump it. Sorry if that made a big noise. Which island do I live on? This one, Gran Canaria. It's where the capital is there's, you know, the way it works. This like the whole Canary Islands are like one region within Spain, but they're kind of split in two. So there's like this set of islands and this set of islands, and they each have a capital. So the capital is in this set of islands is this Las Palmas. That's where I live, and Santa Cruz is the capital of the other set of islands. So these two are like the most populated. This is Tenerife, and this is Gran Canaria. The bigger city is definitely this one though. So it is like the de facto capital of the whole Canary Islands. So like at least like the biggest city. But I have been from these islands. I have been, obviously I live in this one. I've been here as a child, and then a couple times since I got here, but briefly. I've been here like, I think it was a bit less than a week we spent here. I was here just last weekend, but I also was here both here and here as a child, briefly though. And then this one I visited only as a child, but I want to go back. And this one we spent a week on. Really beautiful place. So I'm only missing the El Hierro, which is the smallest one. That's the only one I'm technically missing, but I also want to like go back here because I only was there briefly as a kid. Gran Canaria, Big Bird, technically. No, not really. Okay, so the Canary Islands are the islands that give their name to the canary, the bird, because that's where these birds are from. The canaries are from here. But the bird is named after the islands. So the bird is named Canary because of the Canary Islands. And the Canary Islands were named like that by the Romans when they first saw them. They first sailed there and put them in their maps. They just went there and noted there were 1 million dogs. There were dogs everywhere, just wild dogs, and they were very surprised by that. So they named them Can, which means dog, Canarias. So yeah, they're the dog islands, and so technically canaries are the only, at least that I know of, the only birds named after dogs. But yeah, let me show you the coat of arms of the Canary Islands has 2 doggies. Let me show them to you. Right here. It says ocean, and it's, well, this is kind of an ugly depiction, honestly. This is the more simplified one. This is the one you usually see. It's 2 doggies and 7 islands, which is each of those. Each of these here, although technically now it's 8, because they're like, you can see all the big ones here, and technically this tiny one here, which is called La Graciosa, literally translates to the funny one, has been kind of recognized as the 8th island officially, even though there's like 5,000 people living there, or even, yeah, about 5,000 people living there. It's just like one village and a half. But yeah, it's been recognized as the 8th island. I don't think they'll change the coat of arms though. Canine, exactly. You can also see the word can, meaning dog in English, through Latin. So yeah, canine. Anyway, if you want to know anything else about the Canary Islands, let me know. I will let you know as much as I can. Okay, so I want to use this as a background because I think it's cool. We do have a little bit more space, so I might include some of the edge. Like so. And you know what? I'm gonna actually adjust the canvas to be around the same size there. And hopefully this is another like possible stretch goal. Depending on how much we get, one of the stretch goals is going to be like getting this map printed out as like a full map that you can you know, like a big map that is then folded up into 8, and that hopefully we can get to that stretch goal, but we'll see. So yeah, this might get printed and stuff, so we gotta I'm working on it on a pretty big size. Okay, first thing, before setting up the islands, I want to remove every bit of text. So anything that tells us it's the Canary Islands, I might even remove the edge here around, because that's, or I'll just change the numbers, I guess. Because this tells you like the latitude and longitude. It's very French because, as you can see, it tells you this is the Paris longitude. See, I'm just gonna go over every bit of islands here. I'm gonna use the healing brush, I think. That might be good. Yeah. And we'll definitely reuse some of these letters. Because I like these handwritten or hand-drawn letters. They're really, really beautiful. To the French gave us many things. I still cannot forgive them for mise en place. Why mise en place? I like this. I might keep it. Oh, I like that we can kind of see the back. And it's another map of the Canary Islands. Like right here. That's El Hierro again. That's funny. You had a home economic class. You had to do mise en place. Oh yeah, and the reason we're doing this as an old school map like this is because this game takes place in like the time period where this new landmass is discovered is around the turn of the 20th century. So we got to keep the maps. We gotta keep them close to the time period. I'm probably not gonna choose like a specific time, like a specific year this happens in. That way people can have a little bit more leeway as to like their characters, and like maybe they want to play something like historically, specifically like a character that lived through a specific time in history, and giving people like a very specific year can maybe ruin that. So we're probably gonna stay like pretty non-specific with that. Oh, there we go. Oh, did not get that quite right. Gotta be careful not to break up the lines too much. I don't think it'll be too noticeable, but still. We're getting there. We just got the islands left, which I guess it is the hardest part, but I don't think it'll be like super hard. It's just doing a little selection around them. Winding in between the letters. And then we gotta find like specific spots like these lines and replicate them. Okay, these two are probably gonna be the hardest ones because they're crossing a bunch of lines. So I'm probably just gonna pick from like this corner. So like just do a wide selection here. And then we choose. That's not perfect. Hold on, I'm gonna retry. That's pretty good, except for this bit of the line, but that's better. Yeah, that was actually not bad at all. Oh, they write it like Mas Palomas. That's funny. It's all one word nowadays. The south of the island is where like every tourist goes. It's a strange place. The Canary Islands like definitely suffer from a lot of like over tourism, specifically in some spots. It's kind of wild. Like there are spots in the Canary Islands where you will hear no Spanish spoken. Yeah, over tourism is definitely a problem in a lot of spots here. It can be really bad for like the landscape and stuff too. And like economically, it makes the islands like really dependent on tourism, which you know, it's the kind of wealth that isn't really spread out. It's the kind of wealth that mostly goes to a few people's pockets. So yeah, that's definitely a problem here. So I would say definitely visit the Canary Islands because they're great, but if you do, be responsible. like, I would say avoid the most touristy spots and try to seek out like the natural areas. Like Bali, yeah. There's so many places around the world that suffer from this. That specifically in the Canary Islands, it's British people and German people that you'll most often find. Like there are literal like a bunch of British people that basically live there, or like at least live there for like a great like a most of the year, and they can live there for decades and they will not learn a single word of Spanish. That's pretty wild. It was really funny when when Brexit happens. Some people went to the airports here in the Canary Islands to do interviews to British people leaving, and they were like super outraged because, oh, now I'm gonna need a visa to live here. I can't just live here because it's part of Europe, right? And then they asked them, "What did you vote?" I voted Brexit, but I didn't know this was gonna happen. I'm like, dude, I think you might be dumb, but yeah, that was really funny. No, Ravachos is French, Vishanti. The British tourists are called giddies. You get what you vote for, yeah. Exactly. It's like I voted for the leopards eating people's faces party, but I didn't know I would get my face eaten. Okay, that's pretty clean. Oh, there's some spots here and there, but that's clean. Okay, I do need to remove this text though, because it says the map of the Canary Islands. You say, okay, so in Mexico, Gabachos is it's just white people in general. It's funny. In Spain, it just means French people. Like originally, it's a slang for French people, but I guess in Mexico, it just evolved. It just got generalized. Oop. Many of the fun words, yeah. I like gringos. I think originally it comes from griegos. And it's also gringos. I think is also like originally used in Spain, but it's not used in Spain anymore. But I think the origin was like Spanish sailors who would use like Greek for like just like outsiders in general. They would call them Greeks. I think that's how it worked. I looked it up a while ago, so I might have the details wrong. Bato Chingong. thought Chingon was like more of a generic insult. I didn't know it was specific to white people. That's funny. Yeah, in Spain, the most commonly used, specifically for British people, and it is giri. And I think historically it comes from like a war in the 18th century where they used giri for like the enemy, for the enemy side. And it wasn't even, it was like a civil conflict. It wasn't even between it was like between people within Spain, you know. But oh, Bean is just lying down here. But it just kind of became slang for like the outsider, like the enemy, and it eventually got applied to British people. Spain has a lot of history with like hating British people. Your family's celebrating Chinese New Year. Oh, happy Chinese New Year. Okay, Bean, I need a little space. No, don't press buttons. There you go. There you go. He got, I assume he just got too warm on his little bed, so he had to step out. Okay, now we have clean base. We call this base. And now we can take these islands and put them anywhere. Oh, happy Chinese New Year to you as well, man. Eating hot pots. So lucky. Okay, so now I'm gonna take these islands because I want them to cover like more space in the map. I don't want them to be like all tiny in there. So each of the islands we're gonna take, we're gonna like make them at least twice as big. I think like, yeah, how many do we need to do? 5, 4, right? Yeah, 4. This is the ocean area. So if we need to fit 4, maybe a little smaller than this, something around here. If we have 4 islands of around this size, they should all fit in this grid. Guido. That one is multi-purpose. Oh, how do you use Guido? Yeah, way is good. Please keep palm. Oh, yeah, this map is in French, so I get confused with the names. Yeah, that's La Palma. I definitely want to use La Palma, but I'm probably going to use that as like the jungle area. So first of all, I'm going to try and just go in order, starting with the desert one. And since the desert one is based on Fuerteventura, which is called Portaventure here, but yeah, it's called Fuerteventura, and I'm gonna do a selection around it. One of the things here is I tried to pick a map that didn't have a bunch of text inside, because, you know, I don't want to have to remove a bunch of text inside. So I picked a map that was mostly clean inside. You can still see a few places, but that's much easier to remove than like a million bits of text, which you will see. You will see an example of the hard version of this. Some of these bits of text are so close to the land. Okay. So there we go. Fuerteventura. What's the universe? It is our universe. It happens in the real world, but it is a new continent that is found around the turn of the 20th century. The anchors are nice. Yeah, I'm gonna play some anchors based on the actual places in the book. But yeah, this can be a base for the island of Sra. The pronunciations are made up, so you can just say anything. Okay, there's a few places inside, and this is much better than like this, which is, you know, having to remove every bit of text here would have been hell, even though the map is like very detailed and pretty. Bean, don't do that. Thank you. That island could be it's not a colonized land. There are some bits of like attempted colonialism that you can come across. Like in this island, there's a port. The Dutch tried to make a port to extract gold from underground, and to extract that gold, and it failed catastrophically. So now it's a ghost town. So there are little stories of that, but it is like mostly like a very like the place has just been discovered by the rest of the world, so it is pretty untouched in that sense. Okay, so I'm gonna try to take some of these shapes. It's a very complex. They're very complex shapes, so I'm trying to find a good spot that I can pick from to put it on here, if that makes sense. Look at this. That's pretty good. No, Bean. I saw you coming. I saw you coming. You want to play? Yeah, you do. That's not a toy, though. You can't do that. No. Little man. What is the time period? Turn of the 20th century. Oh, this is like, oh my god. Photoshop being like, or my screen being so bright makes it so hard to see. Like even on the bean cam, it's just overblown. Mythical origin land of Sriracha. Hello, Bean. Untouched lands. It is, you can definitely play like a very evil capitalist character that's just trying to extract as much money from this place as possible. There are many, like, you can play any character you want. Obviously, you can make your own character, but there are 20 characters. If you want to leave it up to fates, you can just roll a die and choose from one of 20 predetermined characters that they just basically give you a little bit of backstory to get you started, to give you, like, they don't even give you a name or anything. They just tell you, like, I come from this place, I want to do this, and one of them is like, oh, I come from a rich family and I'm here to make money. So you can definitely play like real big assholes, or you can also play like an archaeologist who just wants to learn about this really cool place, and or anything in between. You can play a criminal escaping from their past lives. You can play so many different things. There are people who live there, by. Like, it's full of ruins and, like, still living cultures. ¿Qué pasó, Vin? Yeah, for example, in the desert area and surround, there's a whole city that's of like of nomadic people, and it's like a huge city of tents, and every night they move to a different place. So it's like impossible to find if you don't know where they're going. And yeah, like they just pack up and rebuild the city every time. Bean is loving this attention right now. Here to dig up eldritch skeletons, exactly. You can definitely dig up some eldritch skeletons. Criminal archaeologists. Yeah, you can definitely play that. The rest of the stream should just be you petting Bean. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Peak content, yes. Yeah, I had a lot of fun writing the characters. That's one of the parts that is like nearly finished. All the character archetypes you can play. And also I'm mostly done with we're mostly done with like the places in the desert area. The other ones we still have a lot to figure out there as far as places go, which is why I'm definitely like the map I'm making today. I'm not going to include a lot of like specific places because that's going to be subject to change. So it's just going to be like a general map. So to put in the Kickstarter to show people like this, you know, this is the place, this is where it's going to be taking place in. And then I'm either going to make like specific maps of each of the islands, or just like a way more detailed version of this map with like a lot more of the places you can actually see in the game. Because since those are like still to be determined. Ooh, big yawn. Oh, you're so happy right now. Recreating Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the like vibe inspirations. There's even like one of the areas that's going to be in the stretch goals is going to be the just exploring the ocean, and you need to kind of, you know, it's like more of a late game thing, and you need to use a submersible to explore it. He's so happy right now. Oh my god. Aren't you, Bean? Yeah. There's gonna be deep diving, yes. I mean, hopefully that's one of the stretch goals, but hopefully I think it's the first one, so we should get there. Hopefully, if there's enough support for this idea. Crank the mic. We want purrs. Are you purring, Bean? He's not purring right now. He's just breathing really soft. He was purring a bit ago, though. He's just kind of sleepy. Bean, you gotta move over here so you don't attack my pen when I work. Or is that still warm? No, it's not warm anymore. Okay, I'm gonna try. This is the bean relocation operation. Whoop. Hello. Yeah. No, he does not want to. Okay. Bean relocation operation has failed. He's back on my tablet. Oh, I guess we'll keep working. Where's the Kickstarter? It is... Hold on, I'm gonna share a link in the chat. It is here. It's not hasn't launched yet. It's gonna launch on Monday. So yeah, you can click on the button "Notify me on launch," and that way you'll get a message. You should get an email when the Kickstarter has launched, and you can support it. I'll definitely talk about it on Twitter too, but you know, social media being social media, it's better to click the button and get an email so you will actually know. Bean has decided no art today, yeah? Just wants pets. What? Big kiss, yes. Where are you going? Okay. No, 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 no. He's trying to bite things again. Oh, do you guys want to see Bean's latest trick? Oh. He's finally getting the act of playing fetch. So he now recognizes this as the fetch toy, and he knows he has to bring it to me. So what I'm gonna do is gonna see over here on that sofa. I'm gonna throw this, and hopefully he gets it. Oh, yeah. Hey, do you see it? It's there. Go, 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 go get it. Come on. Go. He doesn't want to. He wants cuddles, I think. I don't know. I mean, come on, we've practiced this. Go get it. Come on. Hey. There you go. There you go. Now, pick it up. Bring it. Yes! Yes! Let's get a big crunch from that, Bean. Give me a big crunch. That was barely a crunch. I'm gonna give you a second one. And this one better crunch. That gave us. That was pretty good, pretty okay crunch. You see? Good boy, yes! We're so proud of you, Bean. You finally got the game of Fetch. Yes. You got it, that's a new game. You wanna do it again? Okay, let's see if it wasn't a fluke. You see? Wanna get it? Okay, go. He has to be convinced a little bit. But he is getting it. Here. Did you see it? No? Go. Look. Go on. Do you see it? Trying to point. Look. He gets like pointing. No, right? Is that a no? Yeah, I guess so. You're a good boy. You did it once, though. You did it very well. We're so, so proud of you. So proud. Your brain is literally so large, dude. You can learn anything. Soon he'll learn Photoshop and I won't have to work anymore. Go there. Go. Yeah. You got it. Yeah. No, no. He lost it. He has pretty bad vision, I think. Okay. Well, you got it. 2 words in Spanish. Okay. Good, he did it! Celebrate with a crunchy one. Well, to fetch is traer. So when he gets the toy, when he got the toy, I said trae, which is bring it to me, like touch it for me. Isn't that right, Bean? And the second word in Spanish is, which one should it be, Bean? This is orejas, the ears. Una oreja, dos orejas. Learning all the cat anatomy today. That was very good, Bean. I'm gonna leave this here, and if you bring it to me, you get another treat. I'm not gonna force you to. Okay. So, let's keep getting our eyelid. No, that's not a toy, Bean. That's not a toy. Come on. Go over there. Go. Can you knead that for me? Can you knead that? No? Go on. There. No. Okay, it's not working. I can't convince him. He really wants to lie down in the middle of my workspace, so it's gonna have to be like that. We need to spend 465 million points, is it? No, 46 million points to learn all the words in the Spanish language. Oh, that sounds doable. Good luck. Ser is kind of painful to learn. Oh, because to be is ser y estar. Yeah, a lot of people get confused with ser, because it's the verb to be, but sorry, Bean just hid all my layers, all my windows. Thank you, Bean. Yeah, the verb to be is ser and estar. There's two different verbs that have two different functions. Is there a reset one here? So that's usually a pretty tough learning experience for first-time Spanish speakers. Oh yeah, and verb conjugation is also pretty hard for people who don't know. Yeah, there's verbs have like a million forms. Spanish has some like pretty easy stuff and some pretty hard stuff. And I would say like the verb conjugations is definitely the hardest bit. But then, for example, like the spelling and the reading is super easy, because like each letter or combination of letters only ever has one sound. It's not like English where you have to learn each word and its pronunciation like separately, which I think is like stupid. Bean is just kind of, what are you looking at? You looking up at the screen? Yeah. God bless phonetic languages, unlike English, the freak. English sure is the freak. Bean, are you looking for new things to bite? No? That's not a toy. That's not a toy. Go there. Yeah. Here. Go for it. Go. Go, smart boy. Go get it. Yes. Very good. Bring it to me. Bring it here. He did it. Oh, well, he definitely did something to Photoshop as well, but I'm gonna forgive that because he just brought this to me. Thank you, Beanie. You're gonna run out of treats soon. You've been so smart. You've been getting so many treats. Oh wait, I got like a full, like a half a pack of treats that it didn't fit in the little bottle. Hold on. We're gonna refill Bean's treats. Go get it. It's there. These are the crunchy chicken ones. That's his favorite ones. So he's super interested in this. Like, he really wants them. Of course you do, Bean. Proud Anglophobe. Anglophobe, I love that. Let's see. Any more treats in here? No. You can smell the pack if you want. No, don't lick that. See? You got a few more treats in that bag. He's so interested in this. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, and you can smell it. That way, maybe you'll go to your bed. Tricking him. Tricking him with my evil ploys. Let's see if that works. He loves it. Oh, that was it? Are you tired already? You're looking for new treats. You figured out that the treat bag was empty. And he's now coming back for vengeance. He's going back for the... He figured out the best consistent way of getting treats is to give me... bring me the hair tie, so... We'll see if he jumps on here. We'll see. God, it's... what I don't like about maps is that the screen is so bright, and it's literally like you can see it on the camera where I'm kind of blinded. But yeah, maybe I can invert it to work on it. Would that be? Let me do something. Yeah, I'll invert it. Only in luminosity, I guess. There we go. Yeah, now I'm not blinded by making maps. Okay, so now I can save this. Bean? No? Do you guys see him back there? He was trying to get to the Slenderman. No, that's not a toy. Okay, so I'm gonna save this as Fuerteventura. Okay, that's gonna be the base, but what I want to make is basically like a version of this island that's like a little bit more square, I would say. Let me actually pull out the document I have for the game. So I can see if I mentioned like the shape of the island. I don't think I did. Shh, nothing. But I do mention like a few things in it. Yeah, I think it should be like square or round. Like this is a bit too tall. Thank you for the saber matter too. So it should also be like fairly flat. So I might remove the tops of the mountains here. It's not like this area here is actually more mountainous, but it's one of those like old maps where they kind of exaggerate every little mountain. Okay, there is. I do mention there's an area in the south with a big hill, like a huge mound. So this could be that. Why are you thinking about that, Pi? Get your mind out of the gutter. We're here to do official business. Let's see. I could just shorten it, or I could widen. I can add more island here. Yeah, why not? So let's see. I can add a chunk from... I think I can add maybe a chunk from Tenerife, from this side of Tenerife. Like this. Let's see. The good thing is that the way it's like lit and drawn, it's fairly easy to just like rotate around. I don't think it'll cause any problems. Like it's the same type of line, no matter where you look at it. It's already a better shape. But maybe I'll make it a little shorter on the top so I can get maybe this little chunk. Move it down. I'm going to separate that into its own layer. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more here. This is how the ancient aliens did plate tectonics. Now you're onto something. You know too much. Be careful. Oh, there are some letters I would need to remove, but... And I have to check later what it looks like without the inversion. Specifically because of the letters. The letters are actually kind of harder to see in the inverted version. And here you can see them better. So. I thought being hand on something. I heard a noise, but it was... I don't know what that was. Okay, now I can try to combine these two in a way that looks fairly natural. Okay, let me see. There's mention of, okay, a big mound in the south. This could be that. The eastern coast is described as like very sandy. And the west is more, you know, much harder to navigate. So it's like the east coast has like all the ports, and the west is like very, very hard to traverse. It's where all the mines are. Yeah, rocky western coast. Okay, so I'm gonna add these little like more mountainy bits. I'm gonna add those to the western bits, and or I could just rotate this island. Yeah, that'll be easier. Ways to invade Sentinel Islands. Why don't just leave them alone? Oh, this looks like a fruit. It looks like a strawberry. It looks kind of yummy. Okay, so this makes the western shore look more, you know, craggy, and the eastern shore look a little bit, you know, softer. The center is a desert, so I'm gonna keep these little. I'm gonna remove these things from the center, and that like mound in the south could be this. So I gotta remove this bit, just kind of soften the whole area in the center. And this island, might remove it. It does make like everything look kind of like a strawberry. I could reuse it as like one of the cliffs on the left. So yeah, let me do that actually. This is fun. I like remixing islands. Yeah, that guy who was trying to make the people in North Sentinel Island Christian. What a dumbass. He survived once and then came back and died. Like, you really did not learn your lesson. Hello, Bean. You wanna go out? Okay, I'm gonna open the door for Bean. He'll be back in 5 minutes. I should make one of those cat flaps for only my room. For the nomads, I was thinking something like the Tuareg in the Sahara Desert. Yeah, the whole reason is like specifically there was like the inspiration for this is that in the Middle Ages there was a gold route that went through the Sahara Desert in Western Africa. So there was a like the area where the gold like under like sub-Saharan area where the gold was mined. And then there was like a whole trade route that went through the desert with like nomadic people just going up and down trading, and that all that gold went up to like, you know, the Middle East, Northern Africa, Europe, and so that's kind of the inspiration for this area. Is like the west of the island is like you can't make ports here because it's really rocky and hard to navigate. But it's where all the gold is. The east of the island is like very navigable. It's very just like soft sand beaches. So it's where all the ports are. And there's a whole trade route that goes through the desert that covers the middle of the island. From here, from the mountainous area, all the way east. And that's like what all these people like, you know, That's all these people's livelihood, is that? I haven't thought about slavery. Why is that your go-to? Move this down here. I don't want to change the sizes too much, because if I mix like areas of different sizes, it's gonna start looking weird. Making new mountain ranges out of nothing. Is this, hold on, is that gonna look, yeah, it does look like mountains. Black History Month. Yeah, I'd say that topic is not really appropriate then. Sure, well, we're in a fantasy place. I'll have to bring in real world shit into it. I'm gonna remove these little mountains in the center. It's kind of hard because there's no real flat areas except for the tops of mountains like this. I guess I could just do that. Just take this color. And, oh no, wait. Like so. Could just paint with that. Now hopefully create a more flat area in the center. Let's see how this looks, because I'm not really sure. No. Although I guess if you were to represent a desert in this style of map, maybe a more like nondescript white area like this would make more sense. I'm not sure. Maybe it's better to use like this sort of texture. It's kind of like a little bit more wavy looking, maybe. Or like this one, it's pretty good as well. Could kind of feel like dunes. Few ridges, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna smooth out some of the ridges. maybe. Let's see in real life. There's definitely some colors that are getting kind of muddled up, but what I can do is add a color layer and smooth that out a little. I guess it's more dependent on the background it's on. I could just make this luminosity. That way, wherever I move it, like there are stains, but it's gonna get the stain in the same way, you know? That might be a little better than manually having to change every color. Also, I think I'm gonna get Bean. He's running down the corridor. Bean. Here he is, the beast. No, Bean. Hello. How are you doing? Hello, little beast. What are you doing? He wants cuddles. You wanna come up here? Come up here. Let's go. Go on. Let's go, Bean. You wanna? I'm gonna try. Okay, ass down. Very good. Oh, he's purring. Okay, I want to add a little bit more ridge on the left. Or does that look alright? That's pretty good, I think. It looks pretty steep. Well, this area looks a bit less steep. What I might do is try to trick the light a little bit to make this area a bit lighter, and this will help it feel like, you know, less craggy, I guess. Right? I don't know. Hopefully. I can do the same on the other side, the opposite on the other side, to make it look steeper. So, you know, we got like more of a desert here, this is more mountainous, and this is kind of the, like a black desert that is in the center. And this should be black, because that is literally called the Black Mound. What I can do is take this, put it somewhere up here, I guess. Or even down here. To form like part of this little coast. What's up, Bean? Yeah. It's not, the game is not really about like the powers of the world, exploring it, although there is some of that. It's more of an individual journey. If you want to play into that, you can. But it's definitely, the focus is way more on who are you as like an individual and what draws you to this place. Okay, I'm gonna take this color. Yes, Bean. Ooh, yes. Hey, Soup. How are ya? Radiance is here. No, that's broken vessel. Broken vessel. No, that doesn't look great. Okay. Let's try taking these textures here. And try to fill this in with darker lines. So it kind of feels like, you know, a strange pyramid-like mound. I'm just gonna need some soft light there. Something like that. I know that, you know, this is just like a geographic map and it's not meant to show, it's just meant to show elevation, but that's literally called a black mound, so. Can you play an idiots? Of course you can play an idiots. There's no stats, you can just play any character. It's more of a storytelling type game. It gives you a vehicle to tell your own little story on your own diary, so you can take that any direction you want. Need to fill in the coast here. Don't scratch me, Beat. You're still on your Radiance journey. You got this. Good luck. Like D&D? Like D&D, but solo. So you play alone, and you play at your own pace. You can bend the rules in any way to serve your story. And the stats are not like your character doesn't have like stats like, you know, strength, intelligence, all of that. The only thing you need to keep track of is your money. There's a few curses you can get. So that's really what you gotta keep track of. No, Bean. What do you do? Oh. He was looking for this. A pen. You're obsessed with pens, Bean. Leave them alone. There he is. 1,000-year-old vampire in a solo journaling game. Oh, is a solo? Okay, I thought you were gonna play 1,000-year-old vampire. And I was like, yeah, go for it. It would be a fun character to just play a vampire who's tired of everything and it just, oh, there's a new place. Maybe this will give me some joy in my eternal life, my boring life. Bean, stop that. I told you. Stop. He's obsessed with that corner of the table and trying to dig up everything from there. Bean, that is an unhealthy obsession. It is unhealthy. Check this guy out. Want to stay there? Or do you want to move around? Choose wisely. stay there. Okay, now I need to remove the text and smooth out a couple areas. No, bean. Again? There we go. Forget it, Bean. It's not going to bring you any joy to get that pen. Nor this one. No. I did kind of bring the curse upon myself. Now he wants to play with my pen. Tell me I can marry into a clan, take over the island. That sounds like a really weird fantasy. Sure, you can play an evil character if you want. Bean? No. Kind of the problem of like looking at it inverted. It's a little harder to see the text. So I'm gonna do this part without inverting. Bean! Careful with those claws. He really wants to play with it. He thinks we're playing a game. Oh, little man. Hey. Does the notebook have to exist in universe? Yes. It is the literal notebook you're carrying around. Like the death mechanic in this game, if you die and you want to keep playing. Oh, thank you for the save reminder. If you die and want to keep playing, you have your character literally like die and leave the notebook somewhere, and another character finds it. So you kind of like, oh, PSB? It's kind of silly. Yeah, you just like kind of like make another character and have that character find the notebook and start playing with that. Okay, so it was one of those layers that was big. Now we should be clear. Can you play as a non-human, like an animal or something? Oh, I guess you could, yeah. Then the in that case you would have to like the book would be non-diegetic, but that's okay too. Bean, don't do that. A rock with hands. You can't play as a rat? I mean, you can play as a rat. There's no... Like, the worlds are just, like, for you to make a story. If you want to play as a rat, go ahead and play as a rat. And have the diary be just, like, the rat's inner monologue in this adventure. That's totally fine as well. Or a rock. if you can find a way to play as a rock. But you would probably have to figure out, like, homebrew yourself a different version of the rules with because the money, for example, the money system wouldn't make a lot of sense as a rat, so you'd have to homebrew quite a few things, but you could do it. Bean! I'm like literally dodging him. Hold on, I'm gonna bring an actual toy. Because I don't want him to get used to attacking my pen too much. Yeah. There you go. It's just cheese, yeah, and instead of money, you got pieces of cheese. Okay, go find it. Go get it. You want it? Saturn, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, he's pulling. He's pulling. He doesn't want to release it. Go for it. He's going to come back with it. There you go. Give it to me. Good. See, that's how toys should work, Bean. The beast is demonic in nature. Okay. Bean? You wanna get it? You gonna go for it? Go. Come on. Come on. No. Okay. You wanna go to bed? He wants to be a goblin today. Oh, you just want to play with my toys. Those are my toys, Bean. You can't play with them. Okay, I think we got the islands pretty well set up here for Surah. I'm gonna make some. Well, first of all, it's gonna be. That's gonna be our first island. We can put it anywhere. We'll just have to make sure to put in the lines on top of it whenever we have like the final placement for it. But yeah, happy with this island. A good baseline to follow with the others. You can play as Terry Crews. You can. You can do anything. What are you doing, Bean? He's just looking at his toy. Okay, so we got the desert one. For the mountain one called Motag, I wanted to use this, which is like a much more mountainous looking place. And maybe a chunk of... No, this is going to be the island, the jungle one. So maybe this two smashed together. So I'm going to do two things here. First of all, I'm going to select Gran Canaria. That's where I live. We're going to have quite a few things to remove from in terms of text. A bit more than the last island, but that's fine. Can work with that. Oh, there's a place here called P, which I assume means playa. Yeah, because that's Playa de Sardina. It's a beach called Playa Descojonada, which literally means like descojonarse in Spanish means to like laugh your balls off. So it's like the deballed beach. I wonder if that still exists as a. I'm gonna look it up on Google Maps because I want to go there. I want to go to Playa Descojonada. There's Descojonado. Yes, it still exists. It's right there. It's the same one. It's like a bit of a rocky beach. Really cool views there, though. That's pretty nice. I might go to the Descojonada beach. Free bottom surgery, yes. I'm gonna note that down. I might do a road trip with my partner. Let's see how far away it is, because it's on the the west side of the island is the like there's only like small roads to get there, so it's usually takes quite a bit to get there from literally the other side of the island, because I live in Las Palmas, which is here. It would be about 1 hour 40. That's, you know, yeah, that's pretty much crossing the island. Ocean Beach, yes. Do not do it! Out your balls! I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'll risk the castration to go to a nice beach. Hello, Bean. You're a screamer. He's been being very active today. Okay, so we need to remove these 2 lines, which are pretty small, so we should be able to just get a small clone stamp from just above. And just do this. And that's not perfect, but it'll start. Well, that's my tablet. Oh, you little man. You're such a rascal. You know exactly where to lie down to get my attention, don't you? He's a rascal. We salute you, brave fool. Onward, my good man. May thy balls be untouched. They shall, they shall. What's up, Bean? Yes. You're a handsome man. I'm gonna attempt a bean relocation operation, which is just like moving him to his bed and then give him in lots of cuddles. You understand that? The place to be. Gonna give you a treat, Bean. Oh, I did not set up the camera right. Gonna give you a treat. Stay there. Give me a crunch. You're getting so many treats today. You're literally like a little prince today, dude. He's a little criminal. He knows exactly what to do to get my love and attention. I mean, he always gets it anyway, but he knows that lying down on my tablet is a fantastic way to get me to stop working and pay attention to him. Oh, my boy. Gonna stick around here? Mm-hmm. You're so sleepy. You're so sleepy. Oh, he's getting a shower. Yes, I think that's my time. No, you get a shower, you get a shower. He's looking at my pen. Like, the moment I pick it up, he's like, ching. You're so sleepy. You're so sleepy. You're closing your eyes. Yes, indeed. You're falling so deep into sleep. It would be incredibly funny if someone was falling asleep to the stream and suddenly heard that. I think that would be great, actually. I hope it happens. The moment I pick up my pen, he opens his eyes. I'm gonna try to just keep working. He looks pretty sleepy, so hopefully that did it, but having to hypnotize my cats is a really funny experience. He's like half asleep now, so hopefully that all the energy he spent playing throughout the whole stream, he's now finally coming down from that. It's really funny how cats sleep for like 18 hours a day. And the hours where he happens to be most active are right when I'm streaming. It does make sense because I'm here like speaking and that keeps him like alert. But he also usually has no trouble sleeping through like when I'm making noise and when I'm talking. It's not like he can't sleep, but it just activates him, I guess. You're very sleep deprived. Val ASMR to fall asleep too. I did promise this if we ever got to a ridiculous number of subs. I don't recall the number. Like 150 or 200 subs, I will do an ASMR, a fully ASMR stream. But yeah, oh, we do have a sub goal. If we ever reach 100 subs, sub points, so we're currently at I think, only 50, so it did go down. Yeah, if we ever do reach 100 subs or sub points, I will do a stream where you guys choose the pictures. So I will not know which pictures we're going to be using until the stream itself. I'm going to have to make sense of whatever you throw at me. Cat is very old. She sleeps 99% of the time. She always has energy. Right when you lay down to sleep. Yeah. Classic kitty behavior. Okay, so this is Gran Canaria. I wonder if like after editing the island so much, they'll still be like visibly the Canary Islands. Because this doesn't seem like Fuerteventura to me. It's been modified so much. Okay, next up is Tenerife. You might notice some of the island names are like Spanish words, like Gran Canaria just means like big canary. And some of them are Guanche names. So the Guanches were the people who lived here before, you know, Spain conquered these islands. And still after, but they had their own entire language and everything, which slowly died out after the Spanish conquest. So it was still spoken until I think the 18th century. So it still survived for quite a few centuries. It just kind of slowly disappeared. But a lot of the place names are still from Guanche origin, and Guanche is like specifically the name of the tribe in this island in Tenerife. Other islands had other like groups with different names, but Guanche has kind of been used as more of a general term as well. It's a really interesting culture. They have like their own mythology and everything. I really want to learn a bit more about them, but it's kind of hard because there's no written record. So there's a bit of like oral histories and stuff. But for example, in the city I live, there's a neighborhood called Guanarteme, and it is named after a guy called Fernando Guanarteme. The guy was when the Catholic kings, like one of the like most famous Spanish kings, they were conquering these islands. He kind of felt where the winds were blowing, and he betrayed all his people. He went to mainland Spain, and he swore allegiance to the king and queen of Spain, and he literally changed his name to Fernando, which was the king's name, from like his Guanche name, and told him like basically like, let me keep all my, like I'll switch to your side if you let me keep all my terrains and my, keep everything like I had it. I'll just pay you tributes. So a lot of the conquest was like that. It was more of a, you know, let's switch them to our side type thing. It would make like I honestly think it's a really interesting time in history, and it would make for a really cool, like if someone like dramatized it into like a Game of Thrones type show, it would be fantastic. Because there's a lot of stories of like betrayal and resistance to the conquest. I think it would be honestly cool as like a TV show or a book or something. As like a more dramatized thing. Obviously, one can simply read the history, but getting into something like a TV show would get it in front of a lot more people, make it more approachable. DJ Peach Cobblers. Is that I assume that's a YouTuber. Yeah. Sounds like a very YouTuber name. About the conquest of Mexico? No, I haven't seen that. I've seen a bit like that. That's at least in Spain, it's a more well-known piece of history. There are a lot of like Spanish language resources about that, of course. Okay, so much text in this island. Oh my god, much more than in Gran Canaria. Despite being the less populated island, maybe back then it was more populated. I don't know, like comparatively. Like Gran Canaria, or generally the Canary Islands, like grew a ton in population after tourism started happening. And no, two things: tourism and desalinization. There's not enough water in these islands. We're like literally like right next to the Sahara Desert, so you can imagine how dry it is. The natural water sources. Oh, look at this little jungle area. Oh, that's cool. I like this texture. I wish there was more of it. Yeah, all the like natural water resources are really sparse, so you can't feed, or it can't sustain a huge population. So when desalinization plants became a thing and tourism at the same time exploded, the population here in the Canary Islands grew a ton. So it's 2 million people right now. I don't know how much it was back when this map was made, but it was way less than that, I can assure you. If you hear about the damn conquistadors stopping human sacrifices, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, that's a very classic myth, and that's still repeated, like even in Spain nowadays. The there's a really big effort by the right wing in Spain to kind of, present the conquests and the horrible things Spain did in what is now Latin America as good things. Oh, they were trying to stop, and then they were trying to stop human sacrifices was a classic one, which is so obviously bullshit, but a lot of people believe it. Okay, so I'm gonna mash these two together and see what happens. I'm also, well, I'm gonna keep these as smart objects so I can copy the islands around if I ever need them. Now that they're clean like that. But yeah, unfortunately, in Spain, a lot of people are still like apologists of like the Spanish conquests in America. And every time you say like the horrible things that were done and like registered to be done, they'll say, "Oh, this is it's a British conspiracy. It's a British." They call it the Black Legend. So it's like, oh, they made up this all these lies about Spain, or these exaggerations about Spain to make them feel like make themselves look like, oh, they were the good colony, and Spain was doing colonialism wrong. When like, no, like there's obviously always been like a beef between England and Spain, and but yeah, that's bullshit. There's no conspiracy. Yeah, and using the literal like conqueror guy as a source is it's fucking wild. The Black Legends are true, but everyone did it. I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, and I'm sure if you go back in the record, in the historical record, you can find like British people accusing the Spanish of doing horrible things, and the Spanish accusing the British of doing horrible things, because that's kind of how it went. But yeah, a lot of bullshit. Okay, so this one looks. Let's look at it in real life like this. Okay, this one looks a lot more mountainous than this one, I feel like, right? I kind of feel like these areas look pretty sparse. Like it looks very flat. When in real life it isn't that flat, but it looks very flat, and there's just like tiny little peaks going from there. So maybe I'll try to make those look a little bit more like this, so it all feels like big spires jutting out. I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I'm gonna use this one. This is El Teide. El Teide is the biggest elevation in Spain, in like the whole of the country, And it is, let's see how big the thing is. 3,715 meters. It is a really big volcano. Not an active volcano, thankfully. I'm going to show you some pictures of Valdevia. And you can see it. So, okay, if we look at the map, the actual map of the Canary Islands. Here in Las Palmas, if you're on the left side and it's the sunset, you can see Valdevia on the, like, behind you, and it's like just on the horizon. It's beautiful. But yeah, let me show you Valdevia, just so you can see like the size of it. This is, I'm trying to look at, to see if there's pictures of it from the next island over. Here's what it looks like. But let me see if there's, and this from up there. Really beautiful. I'm looking for, there are smaller eruptions every few years, but it's not a hugely active volcanic area. Looking for pictures of Valdevia from Gran Canaria. This is what it looks like on a clear day. So you can see this is like from Gran Canaria. This is El Roque Nublo, really beautiful place. If you visit the islands, you gotta go to Roque Nublo. But if you're like high up or near the coast and it's a clear day, you can see sometimes like pretty much the entire island. It's really cool. One of the most beautiful views I've ever seen. So yeah, that's why you should visit the Canary Islands. I'm starting to look like I'm being paid by the tourism board, like for Asturias, but I'm actually, this is for real. Trust me, it's beautiful. Okay, so I'm giving these little peaks a little bit of a raise, or not a raise, but yeah, making them feel like the terrain is less flat underneath. So, you know, turning this into this, making it feel a bit more like just a bunch of peaks. Canary Island chill. Absolutely. I love shilling. Pretty based yourself, what does that mean? Hope it's a good kind of based. Okay, let's see this. I'm gonna remove the little dots in the middle, because those don't, it makes it feel like not volcanoes. No, it makes it feel like volcanoes, and I don't want it to feel like volcanoes. I want it to feel like just a peak. Although I guess I could just like continue those lines into the middle, so it feels, you know, feels like it kind of just keeps going. Because what it's meant to imply, I think, is, you know, Valdevia, and there's like the volcano and the crater in the middle. I think that's where those little dots are trying to suggest, but I don't know. Hopped on 3 monsters. Oh my god, your hearts. Stop doing that. It's not healthy. It's a lot of caffeine. See, that's better, I think. Gonna copy and paste that little peak everywhere. Let's see if it works. You remember my profession? Yeah, I guess monsters will help you with that. You're still on the ship. Or are you grounded right now? Grounded as in the ground. Oh yeah, I read about those lemonades. The lemonades that kill you. Why did they put so much caffeine in there? That should not be legal. That was a wild thing to read. Oh my god. A very American story, but yes. Pretty wild. The lemonade that kills you. What a thing to read. Nothing is wrong with more caffeine. It is, it is. As someone with a sleep disorder, I've had to learn to control my caffeine levels a lot more. I love it, but I had to actually drop coffee, like, I don't know, it must be like 6 months ago now. And I now only drink tea. I drink several teas a day, so it's still like a decent amount of caffeine, but it's not. It's like definitely much less and much more, you know, spread throughout the day instead of just having like a couple coffees that will leave me jittery. And yeah, I think it's been a little better with tea. It's helped me control my sleep disorder a touch. Okay. So there we go. That's our mountainous area, and it still keeps a lot of Gran Canaria in there. Like that's Las Palmas. I might put a city there actually. That would be fun. And that'll be like just a little reference to my own place. So that will be Motag or Motag. I don't know how to pronounce these things. I made them up. Okay, and then there's the jungle area called the Sangle. The Sangle, I guess. And I'm gonna go use La Palma, which is in real life a very green area. That's why it's not quite jungly, but it's quite green. Hold on, there we go. My eyes. Yeah, it's quite green, so I thought it was a good fit for the jungle area. There's gonna be like a big caldera in the middle, just like the real one. There's gonna be, like, in general, these are volcanic islands. It's kind of what I'm using for the geology of things. So it gives me an excuse to represent a lot of stuff that exists in the Canary Islands. I love living in the land of the free. Red 40 maxing. What's Red 40? Is it like a caffeine pill? Caffeine pill, Panera lemonade, sugar. It's pretty wild how much like highly caffeinated, however you pronounce that, energy drinks have become like kind of the norm nowadays. It's like some of those contain like wild amounts of caffeine. Like for me, anything above a regular coffee will make me very jittery, and like even just a coffee sometimes, if I take it at the wrong time and stuff, I'll become like really, really nervous and my hands will tremble too much. So I don't like that. Okay, so that is La Palma. And I'm gonna take Tenerife. Here. Tenerife. And there's a little chunk up here in Tenerife, which isn't really visible like this, but like this you can see. I think they tried to represent like a little forest, because this area in the north of Tenerife is like really forested. So I assume that's what they were trying to represent here. But I kind of like it as a texture for my jungle. So let's see how much I can, because if I put it on too many times, it'll look weird. So I gotta be a little careful. Red 40 is basically bad for you. Also, the food products in America. Oh, it's a synthetic food dye. Also used in cosmetics and a whole lot of other products. Oh. Hey, Mectal. Whenever I am eating flaming hot Cheetos, I'm consuming so much petroleum. Hell yeah, land of the free. It is map time, Mectal. Oh, the maps are... This is the base map. Hold on. Oh wait, I fucked up. Now hold on. Gotta turn convert to layers. And now I can turn it back into a smart object. This is the map I got it from. It's a map of the Canary Islands where I live, and I'm mashing islands together to create these land masses. A lot of fun. I'm doing it inverted though, so I don't burn my eyes. Hey Damien, I'm making a game. Yes, it's a solo RPG that you're gonna be able to just play on your own. Here, let me share the Kickstarter link again. So the Kickstarter is starting on Monday, but you guys can already click a button to get notified when it's launched. That way you don't have to depend on like social media, like catching my post on social media to know when it's up. Yeah, so you'll just get an email when it's launched, and yeah, and if you want to support it, hopefully we'll get to the goal, and maybe even hopefully we'll get to the to the stretch goals to add like more areas to the game and to add just a little bit more juice to things. That'll be great. Thank you, Damien. Yeah, the whole, and let me quickly explain the whole game again for all those people who joined here later. It's a journaling game. So you get yourself a notebook, plus the game is just going to have the rules. So you get the game, a notebook, and some dice, and you have to fill out this notebook as the diary of your adventures through this strange new land of Lemuria. So it's basically like exploring a strange continent full of weird eldritch horrors type things, and getting artifacts and recording your adventures. That's the vibe. So right now we're making all the land masses that you're going to be exploring. This one up here is the desert island called Sorrel. This one down here is Motag, which is the mountainous area. And it's inverted, so there you go. You can see it a bit. You can see the mountains a bit better there. This one we're making is it's called the Sangle. It's the jungle area, and then we'll be missing Lazarak, which is the volcanic area. Love your bio on Kickstarter. Horror artist, certified falsified. I gotta put that in there. It's important. Okay, so I'm gonna fill in use these little like tree textures to fill in like jungle areas and kind of cut them up. Honestly, this is not a really good map of the real island of La Palma. The real island of La Palma looks... Let me show you. It looks like this. This is specifically a picture taken when the volcano recently was erupting. So you can see like the lava going down, but you can see the island itself. It has a huge caldera in the middle, which literally gives its name to calderas, like I explained before. And then this whole area in the south is just like a bunch of little volcanoes just peppered throughout. So whoever drew this map kind of just simplified it a bunch, so it doesn't look like a caldera here, or like, I guess this is meant to be like the inside of the caldera, but it doesn't. It kind of feels like a ridge on top, so it doesn't really translate well. So I could just recreate the caldera a bit better using some terrains from different islands. Isla Nublar, let's see. Oh yeah, that looks like La Palma. That's pretty wild. Maybe they based it off of that. Oh, literally someone on Reddit said, Isla Nublar does exist. It's an island off the coast of Africa. Yeah, that's the kind of islands, mate. They exist in real life. That's really funny. Hey Agent, glad you made it. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so these are bits of jungle. I'm gonna hide them for now. And how about I try to recreate the... Oh, PSB? I know what that is. That is because of all these copies. Can you confirm or deny that there are live dinosaurs in the Canary Islands? I'll just have to come here and find out. I'm trying to simplify a couple of layers so it saves as a PSD ideally. So annoying. I don't know why it's refusing to be saved as a PSD. There's definitely some layer kind of doing it, but that's fine. Oh, there it is. This was the one. Of course there are dinosaurs there. There's canaries, exactly. Gonna make it so La Palma will have dinosaurs in your game. It would be fun to hide, like, one of the, like, each area has dangers. So, like, stuff that can happen during your exploring. So, coming across a dinosaur would be a fun one. Okay, I'm gonna take, which island should I take? So, this one's gonna be the last area, the volcanic area. It's called, oh, it literally says volcan here. The island is called Lanzarote, and the area it's based on is going to be called Lazarac. So, really directly inspired. So I'm going to take, since we're not going to use this small island, El Hierro. I'm gonna attach it to the jungle island, and we're gonna kind of use them both combined. We're gonna start mashing islands together again. I really hope someone that hasn't seen this stream and doesn't know where I live will see this map and go like, are these the Canary Islands? Will there be a section in the Discord just for the RPG? I mean, if you guys ask for it, that could be fun. But just to a place to share your adventures and your diaries, could make a little channel. That could be fun. So this here is El Hierro, which just means the iron. I wonder why. I wonder if they found iron in this island and they just decided to call it the iron, or it's something because of its shape, maybe. Oh, it could be fun if I enlarge this part here and I just made this into a huge caldera. So it kind of feels like a big crater in the middle. That could be cool, right? So I can take another bit of El Hierro, like the other side of it. And put it, or this can be, okay, I got it. So the caldera can be here where the real one is. But I just kind of extend it into a huge, like two big arms there that go into the sea. That gives it an interesting shape, doesn't it? See you later, Wen. Yeah, Bean is so sleepy after being such a chaotic beast for a bit. He's dreaming right now. He's just kind of moving around a little. I think where to put it, where is best to put this. Something like this. Now I gotta make this look a little bit more like the real island of La Palma. So I really don't like how this map has represented the caldera. Like it has to fill. I'm probably gonna take these two ridges, kind of connect them in the back. So it feels like it's just like two big mountains and a big ridge in the middle. Having the Discord channel, we could add a playlist we listen to. Ooh, that's good. I am gonna take my little notebook. I'm gonna note that down, because that's a good idea. Let's see. Discord channel for Dreadfarer. I can make my own playlist, maybe. Like, just assemble a playlist as I work, as I write everything in the game and stuff. And just share it with y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna move this around. To kind of create a continuous chain of mountains, if that makes sense. With a big bay in the middle. Oh yeah, and I'm definitely gonna do when the game is closer to like a finished state, I will do a live playthrough of the game here on Twitch. So yeah, we gotta playtest this live, and that way we can kind of see just like, hey, how does it feel to play? Change things where needed. Just kind of adjust based on what people like and what they don't. Okay, I'm gonna take this. Gonna move it around. to make it round. Now, let's see. I'm just gonna take this and then move it. Oh, there goes Bean. He got too warm. Just flopped on the table. That's really funny. He seems too sleepy to care about my pen now, so that's good. Yeah, I wonder if I'll when I do my playthrough on here, if I'll just roll a random character, if I'll figure out a new one to play with. I don't know. Maybe I should go with Fate and see what Fate has in store for us. But yeah, I also think like we could do a playthrough on here, and then when it's finished, we could take some of the things that happened in the playthrough, turn them into images, and put those in the game. So like if we find a cool artifact, I will do that one and it'll end up in the final game. I think that could be fun, right? So there's a little bit of randomness and fate to it. Like you don't really know what's gonna end up there. Okay, I hope now this feels like a caldera, right? It's like a big ridge and a little bit closer to the actual islands while adding those two arms on the sides, like this. Does it feel like that to y'all? Because these can be a little bit up for interpretations now. Thank you, Blazes. Welcome back. Currently working on the island area, the jungle island of this on this game. And I want it to look like a big like volcanic caldera. We're gonna re-add those little jungle bits. So there's one here. And then I want the inside. Yeah, maybe a little bit of the inside of the caldera looks like jungle, because yeah, that would be like the most humid area, of course. So it would be where all the little trees are located. Mid sweaty hole. Sure. Yes, this is for the TTRPG. Each of these islands is one of the areas you can explore. So this one on the top right is the desert island. It's called Sarah. This one in the bottom right is a mountain area. It's called Motag, and now we're working on this angle, which is the jungle area. Gonna add a bit more jungle over here to just make it seem like it's just peppered throughout. I want to fill the whole thing with jungle because otherwise we wouldn't be able to see all the geography, but I want it to be obvious that this is a jungle one. Also, I'm thinking here, just looking at this ridge, I want this to feel like this is the highest bit and then it just goes lower. So maybe I'll reduce the white part in the top here. And now looks back. I can just take this and push it to the side so it, it still feels like it's higher, but kind of degrades over time, gets a little lower. And that way only the top there will feel like, it's the top of the caldera. The rest feels a little bit more eroded. Bean is lying down, he just passed out here. He's doing the Family Guy death pose. Oh yeah, important programming notes. On Monday, I'm gonna do a double stream, a collab stream with Q. So Q's gonna be on stream and still, of course, subject to change, but we were talking about doing the Evil Art Challenge together. So if you guys remember a few streams ago, I asked you guys about the Evil Art Challenge, which is where you guys tell me a bunch of stuff, or traits you associate with my arts, and I have to do a piece that doesn't incorporate any of them. So what we came up with is a piece that is not horror, or it doesn't induce fear or anything uncomfortable, I guess. And that is not realistic. There's a bunch more in there, a bunch more limitations, but those are the two bigger ones. So that's gonna be a fun thing to do. So yeah, we'll see. Q, I don't know what Q will end up doing, but it's gonna end up being something cute, I think. Okay, this one is... Also, I gotta put these islands on luminosity. So they just get like the stains in the background and stuff. And I'm putting this in white because I'm going to use a soft light layer to trick things a little bit to make, make the caldera feel like deeper. I think that looks the part. Quite happy with this one. Now we're back to negative. I'm gonna draw a happy little tree. Yes. Yeah, actually, the idea I had is include its trees. So, yeah, we talked about this a few streams ago when we figured this out. You guys gave me a whole one-page list of things I have to avoid. So, we went through a few different ideas I could do, but none of them fit. And I think what I'm going to go for is something that feels like, because it's too obvious if they tell you don't do horror to do something cute, because it's like the opposite. But it's not about doing the opposite of the traits they give you. It's like doing something that doesn't incorporate any of them. So I thought it would be interesting if we did something like a little bit sad or melancholic feeling. Yeah, that's kind of where we're gonna go, and I think it's gonna be something like, and doesn't have to be, it can't be realistic. So I'm gonna have to figure out like how exactly we do that, but I think it's gonna go a bit into the weird core aesthetic, like that sort of vibe, or it's like a little bit JPEG'd and like it's like obviously fake, if that makes sense. I don't know, something like that. We'll see. We'll figure it out on the stream. No spooky ghost. Can't be spooky. Well, we have a sea monster on this map. And that feels a lot like much older maps, like medieval type maps to have a sea monster. This is a 20th century maps, like late 19th century, early 20th century. So no sea monsters. I guess I should order these islands by like temperature and stuff. Like they're climatically, it should make sense. So the desert one, which is this one, should probably be below. The jungle one should be in the middle, and the mountain one should be further up north. So, together they kind of, you go from dry to humid to colder, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does make a little bit more sense than having them like so close to each other. Because usually like there's a band. No, I guess, okay, hold on. In real life, in the real world, you got like a very dry band that's around the equator, which is the Sahara Desert, and then if you go below that line, you'll get into jungles. So, and yeah, and above the desert, in the Africa and the real world, you got like the Atlas Mountains, and it goes into like a very snowy mountainous area. So I don't know how snowy the Atlas Mountains are, but I think they are snowy. So, okay, so it should be jungle below, desert middle, and mountains top. That does make a little bit more sense. Casually changes geography. Like the people in these islands are just going, ah! Being dragged around. So it can be a little like this. And then we're missing the wasteland area. So this last island is based on Lanzarote, which I was just in this last week. And it is an area that used to be like really fertile and, you know, like really populated and stuff. Whoa, Bean, what did you just do? Don't revert all my changes, please. Okay. Bean pressing buttons, evil. So it used to be like a very fertile, prosperous island, and then a volcano popped up in the middle and raised everything to the ground, like just years and years and years of eruptions. And what I want it to look like is like just where I was this last weekend. I'm gonna show you pictures of the Timanfaya area. Timanfaya was an area, a volcanic area that erupted in the 1700s, and it's just like peppered with volcanoes and lava rivers, like what you can see here in the middle. Just huge rivers of lava, or here to either side of this road. This road is fucking like one of the most beautiful roads I've traveled. It's just, you're just like in the middle of Mars, it feels like. So yeah, it's really, really cool. This is what it looks like from the ground. So this island is just like this. It's just this dry area, this wasteland, basically, with like these lava river areas like this one, and then a bunch of areas that are just covered in like meters and meters of volcanic ash. And under the ash, there's like entire cities. So it's like a mix between Timanfaya, which is that, and Pompeii. A little bit of both, with like, you know, with the eruption being a bit more recent. So there's still like, you know, there's still like dangerous areas where there's like active volcanic things happening. And yeah, that's kind of what I want the vibe to feel like. Or there's geysers to just spouts of water from time to time. Yeah, that's going to be Lazarak, the Lazarak Wastes, which is the last area. Oh, Bean, you're so pretty. And, of course, we have to base it on the island of Lanzarote. So first thing I'm doing, like the others, is selecting this island out. I'm gonna keep the small islands on the top there, called La Graciosa, the funny one. Yeah, my brother is working here in Lanzarote. That's why we were visiting. Oh, Small Tofu, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, it was a really cool visit. It's like what's cool about the Canary Islands is that each island kind of feels like these like these areas, which is why I'm largely basing them off the Canary Islands. Like you can just go to the next island over and it feels so different despite being like right next to each other. Just like small differences in like how tall the mountains are. Like if the mountains are tall, like in La Palma here, the winds that carry all the humidity from the air will, all the winds will drop all the humidity on the island, so it'll be like super green. And meanwhile, in an island like Lanzarote, like the one I was just showing you before, it's very, very flat. So the wind just goes right past and leaves pretty much no humidity, and it's dry, incredibly dry, despite being like in the same climactic area, right? It's wild how different they feel. Thank you, Tofu. Bean has been a menace today, yes. And thank you for the safe reminder. Yeah, Bean has really been a little goblin today. Right now he didn't do it on purpose though. He was just moving around and he pressed my buttons. And he pressed the revert key, which I probably should remap to something different, because Bean keeps pressing it and it's always scary. Because it undoes a bunch of stuff from the documents. And it's not something I ever use anyway. So I should probably unbind. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna note that down for after the stream. I'm gonna unbind. Revert. No, Bean, that pencil is not for you. Okay, and this area on the left, that's where Timanfaya is, those two big volcanoes. It's very simplified in this map, because there's really a lot more volcanoes in 2, but... This, I think it represents a taller white volcano. It's white because it kind of pops out of the ground in the middle of the rivers of lava. It's like from an earlier time. So it's, let me show you. Because we hiked to there. It was really cool. This is what it looks like. It's like the rivers of lava, and in the middle there's like a few little white mountains that pop up. And I really like that contrast. And that's the smaller one here on top. Word in Spanish. Well, I'm trying to think, like lava is just lava. Volcano is just volcán. Ash. Ash is ceniza. Fun word. Can you tell of Franco Spain? I never lived Franco Spain. That's way older than me, but... It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, Pi. That's not a topic for today, I think. Is there a teaser? There is a Kickstarter that is gonna launch on Monday, so you can go here. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. There's a link right there in the chat. You click notify me on launch and you'll get a little notification or an email when the campaign launches on Monday. Also, Little Bean is waking up. Also, welcome, Rudrag. Is that how you say it? Okay. Let's keep going. We just got one island left. We're so close. It's 6:22. I was like, oh, my partner's gonna be up later today because it's Saturday. There we go. I think that's all the text. Yeah, nice. So we got Lanzarote. Gonna save that. Lanzarote. There we go. Okay, so it feels a little small. I guess it's not that much smaller than the jungle island. Although I might make the jungle island just a tad bigger. I know I said I shouldn't resize things, but if it's not too much, I don't think it's super noticeable. And where should I put this one? Could be like right in the middle. I do kind of like this. Like they fit together a little bit. What do you guys think? Just having them a little bit like a puzzle with like an inside sea in the middle. No, Bean. He did it. He's back. The boy is back for revenge. Back for revenge. Oh, little man. Little man. What am I gonna do with you? What shall I do with this? Ooh, this. He's just flopping around. Quieto, calma. I was trying to move you. Hello, Bean. You go back here? Or are you up for good? Come. No? No way to convince you, huh? Oh, constructive criticism? Hold on. Yep, that here. Wait, you made that? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go do constructive criticism of something you didn't make. That wouldn't feel fair. This has to be the person who made it who asks for it. But I'll refund you those points though. How you doing, Nessie? I'm doing good. You're making a map for my game. I think I might make Motag here a little smaller. Or no, it actually makes sense that it's big, right? Oh, Bean, careful there. Makes sense that it's big. It's a mountain area. It has to be the bigger one. Okay, let me add a soft light layer. I'm gonna paint some black and white over this island and make it... Ooh, it's kind of muddy. Why is that? Oh wait, I gotta do it in this version, of course. Yeah, okay. I was so used to the inverted look that I was just kind of weirded out. Like, why does it look inverted? Oh, hi, yeah, the constructive criticism reward is for... It's for, well, constructive criticism. So if you made any piece of art, you can send it to me and I will take a look at it. But if you just want to share something funny, feel free to you can just put it on the Discord in the meme zone or just post it in chat. But if you post a random link in chat, it's not a shirt that I'm gonna take a look at it. I am making game, Nessie. It's a solo TTRPG, so it's a little role-playing game that you can play on your own time. And it's all about filling a little sketchbook, a little journal of your adventures to this strange new land. Full of ruins and eldritch things. And you will definitely get cursed. Okay, now it feels a little bit more... Yeah, the island has a little bit more punch. That's good. Okay, back to inverted, so I don't burn my eyes. Will the game come with miniatures? No, it's going to be... the game itself is going to be printed on a zine, which is going to be about like A5 size, so about this size. And if we reach a stretch goal, it's going to... we'll see if we reach that, but hopefully we do. There's going to be a full-size map, like a folded up map of this that you can get. That's going to be fun. People finding out Alexander the Great was bisexual, yeah. I thought that was a well-known thing, but I did see, who was it? I think Trade the Explainer was talking about it. People were just freaking out about this very, like, well-known historical fact. And it was all like chuds with you know, the Pepe the Frog as their profile pic, or American flags. It was really funny. It's like, oh no, my concept of masculinity. This can't be happening. You know, make everything bigger. Because I wanted to fill the map as much as possible, obviously. So I think that's how they're going to be distributed. It doesn't make as much climactic sense if they're, you know, all bunched up a little bit like this instead of being like more distributed. With the, you know, the jungle being right next to the, or being on the same band as the desert. It doesn't make that much sense, but whatever, it's a game. We're having fun. It's fantasy. Okay, I think it would kind of be funny to just leave Lazarak be like straight up the island of Lanzarote. It would be a little funny, but I think we could edit it some way because we've edited all the others. So let me think. I think I can add a little bit of Tenerife to this one. So Tenerife is this one, and it has this whole area with like peppered with volcanoes, and I think that could be pretty nice here, at least like, you know, a little touch of that, like these 3 volcanoes, that little corner maybe. That circle looks like an eclipse moon. That's where the text is gonna go, because in the original it says Canary Islands map. So I kept it so I can put in Lemuria. Lands of Lemuria or something like that. Okay. That connects pretty well. And I like it because it does give the island a bit of a sharp look. Like, I want each of these islands to be fairly distinctive just on a quick look. And there's only so much you can do with just like orography, with like the, you know, how many peaks it has. Like this one feels, I would say, it's more obvious this way, it feels like, you know, it has a lot of peaks. This one feels like it has a lot of jungle. This one feels very flat, or a little bit more flat. I guess I could remove some ridges, but yeah, that one feels more flat. So it makes more sense for the desert. But this one, you know, I could make it feel very dark to imply that whole, you know, volcanic ash, covered in volcanic ash thing. Maybe that would be good. Okay, now that feels a bit more like a desert. So yeah, maybe I'll make this darker. And I like the shape of the island being a little bit spiky. Also, It's kind of cool. So I like adding that spike, I think really worked. It needs some smaller islands. Yeah, you're right. I can add a few more like Ladafiosa here. Or just like craft a few like little small islands with like little chunks of the others. Okay, Tenerife has no other big spikes. Let me check here. Which spikes could I use? Oh, this little chunk that comes out of Fuerteventura could work. So Fuerteventura is Syrah here, so let me take Fuerteventura. Here it is. Because I did use this little mountain ridge here, but I didn't use like this whole island. I could use like a chunk of it at least here. Okay, good night, soup. Here makes it feel pretty long, kind of spiky. You're micro sleeping. I like that term. Micro sleeping. That's good. It sounds good, Maxel. You should have heard me before when I was trying to hypnotize Bean into going to sleep. I think it would have made you pass out so quickly. That's a term, right? Yeah, I hadn't heard that term before, but it's good. Just a little sleep. Micro sleep. Okay, and I'd like at the center of this island for there to be a huge like white peak that survived. That's the only thing that survived, like the endless like lava rivers, and kind of like that mountain I showed before that kind of pops out of lava rivers, and like that's gonna be one of the places to explore. The only place that survived. So that could be this. And then I can take the tops of all these little mountains, and I could do like the actual map does for Tenerife, where they have little dots in the center. And this implies, you know, craters, volcanoes. So I can take the darkest bit here. Just draw little dots. That's definitely not dark enough. Okay, that's something. Like these are all the volcanoes that exploded. Or erupted, sorry. Words. Except for this one, which is the last survivor. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty good. Maybe I'll make the top of these like ridges kind of dark as well, because right now they pop out a lot. I like making maps like this. I never tried. I did do like handmade maps, just drawn maps, more like fantasy style, more like Tolkien, for D&D games. But this sort of like photo manipulated map where I'm just remixing old things and try to keep the textures and stuff and make it still feel like it's from the time. That's a lot of fun. So yeah, I guess if you guys got any D&D games you need maps for, pay me. Send me money, and I will do you a map. Okay, now this area looks dreary enough. Yeah, I think we got all the main islands here, right? Got Desert Island, this is this one. Mountains, we got the jungle, we got the volcano. Money give equals map, exactly. Give me an add-on for the Kickstarter, I will make you maps. No, it is gonna be this map as a physical thing is gonna be a stretch goal for the Kickstarter. And it's gonna be like printed as like a big thing that you have to unfold. Hopefully we get to that goal. I'm excited. Okay, now we need to put the names for things. I think we're gonna put it in like its actual view, because right now there's enough dark in here that it doesn't blind me that much anymore. And now, I guess I'm gonna get blinded because I have to pull this out. There's an inline sea in here. That's, if we get to that stretch goal, that's also gonna be an explorable area. That's called Akaura. Akaura. Yes. Sorry. Don't know how to pronounce the things I wrote myself. This is like kind of the sea here, full of eldritch mysteries. So we should have like a big name tag for that as well. Also, maybe this island, like the crater of it, should be pointing out towards the sea there. Right? What do you guys think? Gives us a bigger sea here. Happy Lunar New Year! Hope all those who are celebrating today are having a good time. Being careful. Okay, so let's take little letters from here and pop them out into their own layers. Is this layer empty? Yes. Okay, we don't have a K, so that's already a problem. It's another A, U, U. No. Here. Come on. Is Beam pressing something? I think so, yeah. It's getting like double inputs for whatever I did. It is the year of the dragon. Yes. So thankfully 3 of the letters are A, so we got those. One of them is U. And all of these we're gonna put in darken. So we're missing a K and an R. Is there an R here? Atlantique, Océan Atlantique. No. There's an R here. Hello. But we're definitely gonna have to make the K from scratch. We can use the R actually to make the K. Gonna go back to dark because I'm gonna close up on this area. Okay. Little bit taller. I'm also gonna have to move the letters around because these letters were kind of done in a circle, so they're not fully upright. Gotta warp them a little bit. Okay, and for the K, we're gonna take the R and the lower part of this. Actually, what if I just take this? It's starting to look like a K. It's a really big bean. He is large. Large and in charge. Actually, why don't I just take this? It's not looking enough like a K. I'm bad at fancy Ks, I guess. No, Discord server, there was a small community thing where we're taught to draw a dragon in less than 10 minutes. Yeah, sure. Show us the dragon. Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't both be curved like that. Like this one should be straight. So maybe I'll take a bit from the A. Nice K. Now this is better. This is better. Not my best K, but I'll take it. I might move this somewhere else. Because it's kind of getting in the middle now, this little arrow thingy. Metroid music, yes. Have the best stream soundtrack? Well, thank you. Okay, I might take this and put it down here instead. Oh, it kind of crosses a line there, so it should go up there. And maybe I'll put it on darken. Oh, because this area is pretty dark. Okay. I gotta remember I'm working on inverted colors. There we go. So now I can take the full chunk here and go with patch tool. Nope. Patch tool, please. Thank you. There we go. And we can put this, first of all, turn it into smart objects, put it there. And we put this on darken, that way it crosses the line. There we go. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to take all the islands, I'm going to group them up, call them islands. And I'm going to take the base. I'm going to put it on top and put it on darken. Will that work? Yeah, okay, that makes the lines appear over the islands. It's not the best, but it'll get blurred over after, so. Thing is that we made the island so big compared to the original map that the lines on the islands, like the hatching, is much bigger than the map lines here, than the latitude lines, so that's where a little bit of the jank comes in, but it'll be fine once we blur it all together. Reminder to hydrate. Thank you so much. And everybody remember to. You a good reason to do your homeworks? Well, because then you'll get a good grade. And another good reason is I will fight you if you don't do them. Okay, now we got to do the names for each of the islands. So we can take these smaller letters for those. And we have to recreate all these. Hopefully we have all the letters. Okay, so the first one is just S, R, and A. Which, great. We don't have a fucking S. Don't have an S. I'm gonna attack somebody. Okay, we have an S here, so you can use that. Okay, then R and then A. Which should be much easier. R and A. And we gotta make these much bigger. I'm just gonna leave it like this. Ransom note type map. Okay, Nakut. Good luck with your homework. I'm glad my technique worked. I just scared you into doing your homeworks. Well, the S is much higher quality than the others, but hopefully it won't be super noticeable once everything's put together. Okay, now we need an apostrophe. Haha. Yeah, it's the best one, even though it has a hatching. Señora. All the area names come from taking actual words and slowly changing them until they don't resemble their actual words. It's a fun word. It's a fun way of coming up with like fantasy names. So that's how we're gonna do all the names. Like for example, Lazarek is Lanzarote, the name of this island, that I just then, you know, I take Lanzarote, written like this. And then I just like remove one letter, remove the ending and change it for another. And make it sound like it's supposed to be like a harsh volcanic island. So gave it an ending that felt kind of harsh like that. It's just the sound of it. And there we go. We got a name. And if you want a desert island, then you take Sahara, and then you just boop. There we go. Easy. Okay, let's see. Next one is Motag. So let's find an M. Do we have M's? Yes, Romera. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't freak out, Photoshop. Thank you. M-O. Tenerife. An A. Palma. And then we need a G. Romera again. Great, we got all the letters for this one. No sweat. Okay, I'm gonna put them all here. M-O. T. Another T. Well, I'm gonna remove the other T because first of all, I'm gonna put it in its place. And G. Wait, well, it's one T, two Gs. Forget my own words. One T, two Gs. All of these are going to be in darken mode, so we can click each other. A and two Gs. I'm gonna have to change the background. There we go. Gonna get those letters a little bit closer together. A little bit more for the M. still not quite aligned. That's a little better. There we go. Now put it all together. We put it back on darken. And we make it the same size as this. Let's see. Let's make the A's match. Boom. It's a little blurry, but it'll do fine. Okay, next one is this angle. Let's see. We're gonna have the S problem again. That's nice. But yeah, we'll use the same S as Syrah. We can actually just take the word Syrah to start with. And whoa, don't freak out, please. Thank you. Okay. That S is too big. Okay, we're missing DNGL. DNGL. Do we have the... we don't have a D. We have this D. That's something. Hello, Bean. Okay. That's the D. And we have one here. As for a G. Oh, we got two G's here. Great. Bean, you're so itchy. Okay, D and an L. Do we have D's here? No, again. No, we do. Oh, we did get this D. Yeah, forgot. There it is. An L then. We got another L here. But this one will be better. There we go. Now they're in order. It looks so silly when you put them like this. Bean has 3 emotes. And yes, Bean Cam is shaped like Bean. It even has the little cut off ear that Bean has. Yes, Bean, we're talking about you. As always. It's so important. No, Bean. What happened to his ear? They clip it for the... So we found Bean on the streets, for context. It's a rescue. Yeah, the city has a program where they will neuter the cats, and to mark the cats as neutered, they will cut off the tip of the ears. So yeah, that's the reason for Bean's cut off ear. It's not a lot. It's really not like super noticeable. So there are some other cats that you see on the street that have like where it's they cut off way more of the ear. This is kind of asymmetrical. I guess it was an italic letter, so we do this though. Bean, what's spray? Yes. Yeah, it's pretty standard, the cut-off ear thing for like catch and release programs. Let's put this on darken. Do a little bit of this. There we go. I did completely mess up the writing here. There we go. And we're missing Lazarek. So we have the L. Just gonna reuse as much as possible for, you know, more comfortable. Okay. This A is good. For the Z, well, of course, we'll find it in Lanzarote. No! Oh, they wrote it with a C. Oh, the French. French. I'll have my vengeance. I guess I'll use an N. How dare they not write things with the correct letters? That works. Kind of spiky too, so it's nice. Oh, the French. I didn't do that right, but I hope you understood the reference. Oh, we have the K problem again. God damn it. Because we gotta redo the K, but in this style, which is, you know, we can't do like the wavy K. It has to be... Well, I guess we can do a sort of wavy K. We'll take the R. And then take this bit of an A. That actually works. I'll take that. Put that on darken. And bam. We got all the islands. Don't know exactly how I'll place the... I guess I'll kind of place it on the outside. Make them slightly smaller. Okay. That gives me a bit more space to put things. I hate the letter K. It's one of the harder ones to like do from scratch when you don't have it. And also a really common one to have to do from scratch when you don't have it. So I have developed a distaste for the K. Not that much, but... But it is sometimes annoying. Okay, that's all the places. And now we invert it. And we have ourselves a map. We did it. It took us 4 hours, but I think it looks pretty good. And each island looks like they should look. Yeah, there's little things I want to do before the Kickstarter. I'm gonna call it there for this stream, but before the Kickstarter, I want to have, obviously here, like, Lemuria, which is the name of the continent. And then have maybe like small islands like peppered throughout. This sort of thing. And why did I do always like 2? Yeah, I can do little things like that. But yeah, like a few more islands, like a little compass maybe that I can get from a different map, because this map doesn't have a compass. So, I don't know how to do circles. There we go. That's good enough. Little compass. And yeah, that about does it for the things I wanted to add here. A little more decorations or something, but... And then obviously, like, once the game is like closer to being done and we have all the areas settled and figured out, then we'll start adding, like, you know, little ports and little names of things like inside the islands. So it feels like a little bit more complete, you know? But that's gonna be for later. I do like how the original map had a little, like, anchor for the ports. So I'll probably do something like that. But yeah, that's for later. For the Kickstarter, just to show, like, the areas. We're just gonna have this. Gotta have the compass, it's important. Yeah, I'm happy with this. It's the first time I do something like that, like remixing a map like this, so that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I'm whenever I do a like D&D campaign or something, I'll make my own map like this next time, and whenever that ever happens. But yeah, let's call it there. Let's call Bean. Hey, Bean. Just grabbed it off the ground. Hello. My little boy. How are you doing? Did you have fun during the stream? Oop, 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 oop. Did you have fun during the stream? He did. I'm gonna put him here as I say bye. Stay here for a sec, Bean. We're gonna say bye. All right, everybody. We'll be back on Monday. Monday, we got a double stream with Q. We're going to be doing the Evil Art Challenge. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Do not miss that. It's going to be Monday, around the same hour as usual. Maybe a little earlier because we got a guest. So, yeah. Watch out for that. And Monday, also, the Kickstarter lunches. Before I go, let me share once again the link to the Kickstarter campaign. Everybody go right now to that link and click notify me on launch so you know when the Kickstarter has launched and you can support it. And it can, like, if it gets funded really quick, it's going to be great. I would love for that to happen. And Bean would love that too. So hopefully that happens. We'll see. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, y'all. But yeah, I'll see you Monday, y'all. Take care.